What's up, folks? It's DanielTheVapeMan. And today we are going to be doing a look at the pros and cons and the first opinion of the Joyetech RunAbout. If it can focus. There we go. A little bit of light. Focus, you son of a bitch. There we go. Stunning design. So I've been using this for about 2 days now. I'm going to give you the pros and cons of using it. Nothing too crazy, as I've only had it a couple days, but I pretty much got the gist of it. I love the design. I love the look. I love everything. You can't sit it down. You have to sit on its side. That's not a big deal to me. You can also spin it, which is very entertaining. It's fun for me. But I want to get off the off the bat. I doubt you can pick this up. There we go, right there. Look at that. I've had it for a day, and it's already got a scratch right here. How I got that, I don't know. It's been in my pocket with nothing else in it. Don't know how I got it. Maybe from spinning it last night when I was all nicked out. I don't know. But alright, we're going to jump off to the bat. The main reason why I watch videos is I want to hear the cons, and then off of those cons, I make a subjective, I either buy it or I don't. So anyways, first con is the button. So the button, it's not a problem in the aspect of appearance. It definitely looks pretty and all that jazz. But if we get up close, try to focus here. Alright, back up a little bit, focus on it, focus, there we go. Now, just look, you can barely see it, but it moves a little bit. Now if you listen, hear that? It just, everything on this mod feels great quality, but the button feels very cheap. So everything feels like, this feels like a sticker, but, it feels glossy, almost glass-like. It's not glass. And then here's like an alloy or a steel, something nice. It feels very good in the hands. But then the button, it just feels cheap. And also with the button, which is a bigger con than it feeling cheap, which is whatever, it's a button, is a lot of times when I hit it, it's not doing it now. Sometimes it won't fire. In the aspect of when I press it down, you have to really press it down. If you kind of a lot of times I notice the throw on it, if you want to call it, the throw on it is a little heavy and pushes back very quickly. So sometimes you have to push it again, kind of annoying. Another con is the light. I've been having difficulty changing the light color. Sometimes it does not react. Sometimes the button doesn't react when you try to check the battery level. There, it's working. Sometimes when you try to shut it off, you have to do it super fast. If you do click, 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 it's not going to do it. You have to do click, 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 click. You got to do it fast. Very annoying. Another con is it's only 2 mLs in here. I would have loved to see a little bit of an extension of the cap or a little bit of extension into the barrel and lower the button and make it a 3, which is, it's not standard, but I definitely think it's cool. Another con is definitely scratch friendly. As I showed you, the paint got scratch friendly. I would have much preferred, I wanted this one, then when I got it, I was like, I should have gotten the blue or the white one, the other blue. Another con is this top is not sharp, but it's not comfortable. Now, if you do this, it's not comfortable. But in this aspect of hitting it, very comfortable. What I do like, and I notice myself doing, is I kind of hold it like a cigarette, which is very weird, but you can easily hit it like a cigarette. I find myself kind of holding it nonchalant and kind of spinning it in my hands. It's definitely kind of fun to use in that aspect. Another con that I got is for some reason it has an airflow vent right here and right here. I don't need it to focus for that, but it has two of them. For some reason on this pod, only one of them works. Now if you notice, alright, so this one works. So look at this. I'm going to cover this one up. Nothing. Now, if I cover this one up, I don't know. Don't do that, by the way. Now, I don't know if it's just the pod or if that's supposed to do that, but it only gets airflow on one side, which is very annoying. So I tried flipping the pod, because you can flip the pod either way, and no, it just doesn't do it for some reason. I tried pushing it down a little bit more, it doesn't do it. Another huge con, and it is the biggest con of it all, because I do expect this to, you know, deteriorate. So the scratching doesn't bother me. The 2 milliliters doesn't bother me because it's whatever. It only has, I forget the exact amount, I believe it's 480 mAh is on here, as I call it mAh. So the battery life is not the best. It does have a 14 watt, it has a waltz. It has a 14 watt output, and its input voltage is DC 5 volts, which is cool. But yeah, I forget. I believe it's 480 mAh. And when you're going from, like, my Mimic pod is 1100, I believe the same thing for the Nord, where you can vape this all day. I have noticed I've been able to vape this all day, but I've been using the Nord, I've been using my mods, so that doesn't really count. Now, if I was just using this all day, I'm expecting to get probably a half day out of it. Another con, and we're just listing off a shit ton of cons, and this is another big, it doesn't hit that hard. Not a lot of vapor. Now, I do have the coils in here. I do have, or the pods, cartridges, whatever. So I got 5 of them in here. I hope they all work well. And I just hope that maybe since it's the one that came with it, it might be a little bit older or something. But it definitely does not hit harder than the Nord or the Mimic. This is definitely just a relaxing, chilled kind of vape. It's also kind of for show. So, I mean, it gets the job done. It doesn't hit as hard, and the flavor on the coils is definitely your average flavor. It's not going to be like a Nord or a Mimic where the flavor is pretty good, especially the Nord. Like the mesh coils, the flavor is the equivalent of an RDA in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. It's the closest you can get to an RDA. Whereas this is kind of like a sub-ohm. A sub-ohm 5 days into it, you know, kind of deal. I do have the, now if you're going to say, oh, well, the liquid you're using here is the first time you're using it. No, this is, I used it in the Nord, and the Nord was insane with flavor, and this is Red's Apple Ice. The flavor on here is not bad. I would give it like a C+, maybe even a B-, a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But there's not a lot of menthol on it, not a lot of flavor, and you also don't get a big hit. So that's just been me doing 8 minutes of cons, which makes you think I don't like this. I don't hate it. I think it's pretty good. You know, here's my pros. The mouthpiece on it feels very good. It's a little bulky, but the pod feels very strong. The pod itself also feels really good. Minus the button, it feels very tough. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic like most pods do. It feels really good quality. The lights on it, I really dig it. Although the battery life is kind of annoying, I would have preferred to see a Nord double click with a color, you know, green means this, red means that kind of deal. But I do love the pod color. It even goes into the, so like if you can't see the liquid, you just light it up and you can see it. I really love that. The overall design and look of it is really beautiful. I would say it's probably the most ergonomical pod out there. It feels really good in the hands. You can hold it multiple ways. You can even hold it like a cigarette. It is a little bit heavier than most pods, but still, as you can see me waving this around, don't have a problem holding it like a cigarette, which is pretty cool. I didn't think I would do that naturally, but I kind of just subconsciously doing it. My preferred hit is like kind of like this or this. I don't know why. Sometimes I do this. You can just hold it in a wide variety, and it feels really good in the hands. It does have a slight gaminess like the Nord to it, but nothing like the Nord. That's the biggest con with the Nord that I can think of in my head, is it gets really gamey. This doesn't, not too bad. It has, for a 480 mod, the battery life seems to be decent. That is pro. I haven't used it enough to check it out. I forgot to mention what it comes with. It comes with the RunAbout battery, 2 cartridges, USB, manual, warranty card, warning card, spare parts. It's pretty cool that they give you 2 cartridges and spare parts in there, which is pretty fucking badass. The USB is located here, which is awesome. I would have hated it if they put it on the side or something like that. The airflow, despite having one airflow gone, I imagine if both of them work for the other cartridges that I have, it would be amazing. I do like the airflow. It is the option to do a mouth-to-lung or a direct lung, which I think all pods should be. It definitely seems to shine and give you a harder hit in mouth-to-lung. See what just happened there? I pushed it down all the way, and for some reason it just didn't fire. Very weird, but it's better. You get a very good throat hit on a mouth to lung. Whereas the direct lung, you really don't get that much of a hit. You start to get that vapor, and as you see, it just kind of dissipates. Which, whatever. What's another pro on it? Relatively cheap, which is a pro. The same thing with the Nord. The Nord's very relatively cheap. I got this at 18 Vape for only $14. And the quality of it feels like a $30 pod. And on top of that, all the stuff you get the USB in there, you get all the bonuses and spare parts, and you get 2 cartridges. Sometimes they don't give you 2 cartridges. Also, 5 pods cost you around $10. So overall, this whole kit cost me $29 at 8vape.com. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially when you're getting off cigarettes. This will be a good introduction. Not much to it. I do like the colors, if I didn't mention that. I do love the colors if I can get them to work. I would have loved to see an option to maybe make it like flashing or something like that. That would be pretty dope, even though I don't really like it. I use it anyways because, I don't know. I'm able to tell if I'm hitting it or not. So there's more cons to this than there is pros. But does that mean I hate it? No, it's weird. It's like that thing. It's like a side dish. All right. Let's just say it's mashed potatoes. Okay, mashed potatoes are awesome. All right, they're cool. I love mashed potatoes, gravy, you know, hot sauce, whatever you want to put on it, awesome. Now, would you have mashed potatoes as a main dish, meaning the whole fucking plate is mashed potatoes? No, you would not. This is definitely a side piece, definitely like a backup pod, or if I'm bringing 2 pods to work, I'll bring this additionally. You know, that kind of deal. This is definitely not the top notch. This is not your ribeye. This is not your filet. This is not your lobster. This is more like, I'm not even going to say shrimp. This is like your deep fried bass, you know what I mean? It's good, but it ain't the best. It ain't a lobster. It ain't a shrimp. It ain't clams, mussels, whatever you want to go at. Whatever fucking analogy you want to put here. It's not that. It's not bad. Overall, let's do a couple of new scores for these pod systems. Would I recommend this to a beginner? Yes and no. I would recommend this to a beginner who is just getting off cigarettes. I wouldn't recommend this to someone that uses pods on a regular basis. Now, would I recommend this to people that have been using pods for a long time? No, definitely not. But if you're getting off cigarettes, it would be good. The flavor off of it, I give it like a C+, as I said. And an overall rating, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, it definitely looks good, feels good, just doesn't hit good. But it's not that bad. It's pretty cool. I dig the look. I dig that the most. And I dig how it feels. And also dig that you can play with it and kind of do this and hit it however you want. So I give it an overall 6.5 or 7. Do not hate it. Love it. But it's definitely going to be a third string quarterback, not a starting. Anyways, that's Joyetech. RunAbout. Y'all have a good night.